Many of you might not know this, but Amazon is producing a God of War series. And considering Amazon's track record with series, we all know very well just how massive the potential for this to go wrong is, especially when you consider not just Amazon's history with films and series, but also the overall history of video game adaptation. After all, it's hard to forget The Last of Us, for example. Recently, the first official image of our protagonists was shared, showing the actors playing Kratos and Atreus in the new Amazon series. And my friends, that image instantly turned into a meme. The image is so bad, the character's look is so terrible, and the potential acting looks so ridiculous that this could easily be mistaken for some event cosplay, or maybe a fan film on YouTube recreated by YouTubers and fans. But no, this is a potentially multi-million-dollar production from a billion-dollar company that is simply adapting one of the most famous, most beloved, and most popular game series, one of the biggest game franchises of all time. Despite having some good recent examples like the Sonic movie, you could say it turned out great after people complained and they changed our hedgehog's design, right? But looking here at this first image from the Prime Video God of War, bro, what is this? The guys looked at this, thought, wow, this is good. Let's post it on social media. It's not surprising, and it's worth remembering, okay? This is from Amazon, but it's also being co-produced by Sony themselves, as well as co-produced by MGM Studios and PlayStation Productions. So there's a lot of money involved. The problem here isn't a lack of money or potential talent. It's that these guys are just bad at their jobs, plain and simple, okay? In fact, 2 seasons have already been ordered. They're releasing it all at once. 2 seasons with an estimated release date in 2027. Estimates say 2027. So, my friends, just imagine the garbage that's coming our way. Look, on the last 27th at noon, the official God of War profile on Amazon Prime, as well as PlayStation and Sony account, posted this image with the caption, Father and Son. See the first look at Kratos and Atreus in the God of War series, now in production at Prime Video. Your journey to the highest peak begins. At least the outfit is faithful. The outfit is, but regarding the actor, people, Kratos is literally supposed to be a former god of war who was responsible for killing half of Olympus and is now going to kill half of the Norse gods too. He's supposed to be a massive, jacked, hyper-defined monster who wants to kill everyone. And then here, what do you see? A Kratos. Well, I don't even know what to say because, like, his stomach looks like a beer belly. There's not a single defined muscle on this entire body. His arm isn't defined, his chest isn't defined, and his stomach isn't defined. It's not that hard to find a somewhat buff actor, right, to play him. Damn, if it were something rare, finding a buff Hollywood actor, I'd understand. But it's not like Hollywood is lacking buff actors. It's actually full of them. There are so many examples of productions where Christian Bale in one role was super jacked. He worked out like crazy, got super defined like a top model. Then, in the next role he took, he was a big guy. He went and gained 40, 50 kilograms in a few months to be able to do the role without needing makeup. Then later, in the next role, 6 months after, the character was supposed to be anorexic, a drug addict. He went and lost all the weight and became skeletal. Damn. A guy who makes an effort, a guy who is a truly great actor, he gets into the role, not just mentally, not just in the acting, but physically too, right? Physically, he embodies the character. And we see here that, okay, maybe it's just one photo, right? Maybe production just started, and this doesn't represent the final product. But what we're seeing here is a strange Kratos. It's a Kratos with a little belly, man. Come on, that's not acceptable. And look, I won't even criticize the belly more, but the problem isn't just the belly. Looking at that photo, you realize that even the makeup, poor guy, they messed up. Take, for example, Kratos' beard. It doesn't look very good either. Patchy and poorly done. It looks like a weak, straight beard. Because if you look at him in the game, he has a perfect beard, man. Super mega defined and everything. Here, they couldn't even put on a beard wig. Honestly, I feel bad for the actor. Yeah, this is supposed to be the angry face of Kratos from Amazon. He looks slightly annoyed. I don't see this as the real Kratos here. Man, this is really weak. And even worse is Atreus. Holy shit. Look, a child. Way too much of a child, right, man? Kratos, if you squint your eyes a bit with some myopia, take off your glasses, you can almost overlook it. But Atreus, people, what is that? They grabbed the kid from Disney Channel to come act here as Atreus. What the hell is that? Dude, he's way too young. He doesn't fit at all. Not even the hair. They could have at least shaved his head, but they didn't even do that, really. The only thing that's faithful is the outfit. And even that's debatable because if you stop to look at the scenery too, man, look at that giant rock behind him, right in the middle of the two. I don't know, it looks strange. It looks very fake, man. You can tell it's a green screen set, for example. The bow he's holding, you can also tell it's plastic painted over. They could have at least used a real bow. Visually speaking, the color scheme, it doesn't look like a multi-million-dollar production from mega corporations adapting a film, and by the way, adapting a badass game. It looks like a telenovela, visually speaking. There's no image treatment whatsoever. So, like, Look, congratulations, you guys managed to release a real piece of garbage. I know there will be a lot of people who are super hyped, who loved it, who are super anxious and all. But for me, this is more hype, more expectation based on the potential this series has than based on the product we're seeing here. Because honestly, the product that was shown to us is terrible, and a lot of people are bashing it on social media. No, if you compare it to other series we've had, I don't know, The Last of Us, look at Ellie's appearance compared to Kratos here. Actually, it ended up being much more similar, but anyway, there are still plenty of flaws here. A lot of people might like it, really, if you compare it to others we've had, right? For example, Tom Holland as Nathan Drake in Uncharted is hard, right, to compare, right? In this case, it really is much better, but we'll have to see the acting we'll see later from other angles, right? Maybe the guy actually is strong. We're not seeing it here, but this specific scene they chose here didn't help him, you know? Maybe leaning forward like that, he has more belly than he should. The protagonist of the God of War series, Ryan Hurst, recently went on his social media and posted an image, which is just text on a white background that says, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet, kids." So what is this image? Oh, is it fake? Why is he posting this? I asked, why are you posting this right now when everyone is criticizing exactly this new image from the God of War set? Is this image false? Is this image fake? I can't understand. As I said, maybe my theory I brought up earlier is true. Maybe this is an image from, I don't know, the first day when the guys were doing a mock-up to test the makeup to see how it would look. And he had the beer belly and wasn't really in character yet, but they got dressed. This was just released now to social media to promote and create some marketing. Maybe that's it. Maybe the final product, Kratos, is a beast. The makeup is good, the body is defined, and Atreus doesn't look like the kid from Disney Channel. Maybe, we don't know. Everything on the internet? I don't know, man. Come on. Of all the things you could have released, you released this crap. And now he hits us with this, don't believe everything on the internet? I don't know. Honestly, if this hadn't been released by Amazon Prime themselves, I would have thought this was fake. I'd think, wow, this must be AI generated. The actor himself is saying not to believe it. Even he didn't like it. But no. So yeah, this case is very strange, man. Very bizarre. I don't know what to expect anymore, but look, I expect a bomb to be coming our way. Let's wait for the trailer to see. But really, if even the actor isn't liking what was posted, he must have given the studio guys a piece of his mind, huh? I wonder if he chewed them out. Man, you guys are screwing me over here, bro. Though considering everything, as I said, right? He's the God of War, but he looks more like the God of bar fights. And even then, I think he'd lose. My expectations are low, but anyway, I'd love to know your opinion about the Amazon God of War series. What did you guys think? I invite you all to leave your opinions down in the comments below. My name is Riv, forgot to say, welcome to the channel, and that's it. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you all have a great day, and see you next time.